So how are we going to do this? Engage my kids and yours? How are we going to keep them part of Jewish life and draw them into our synagogues? Well, this is no time for triumphalism. The demographic problems are real, the financial problems are great, and the religious challenges are daunting. And it is personally frustrating beyond measure. Even when we parents have tried to do everything right, these ungrateful kids are still not where we hope them to be. There will be no quick fixes here, no one-off solutions. But I don't believe that our kids are a lost generation, and we cannot afford to wait and see what happens. Therefore, our synagogues and our movement are already doing what they do in times of distress. They are rethinking, readjusting, reconfiguring. And this is what's going to happen. We're going to invite our young people in. We are going to empower them. And we are going to dream with them. In this week's parashah, we read about Joseph. Joseph's brothers, who were much older, could only see the future as a continuation of the past. But Joseph, young and vigorous, dreams of sheaves and wheat and celestial bodies. Looking ahead to Egypt, Joseph saw what they could not. A new world, a new technology, a new social order. The Talmud instructs us that no person should go 7 days without a dream. Our children, despite the frantic quality of their lives, can dream about Judaism in ways that we cannot. And the key for Reform Judaism is to dream with them. The key is to act like Joseph, the young and vigorous and upstart brother. After all, we are only 200 years old, a mere child in Jewish terms. And it is by being young and acting young that our movement has achieved so much. We have been brash and forward-looking. We have brushed aside counsels of timidity. We have taught Torah with a revolutionary fire and an adventuring spirit. And we have said, with ruthless honesty, if you want a restless, optimistic, risk-taking Judaism, come to us. If you want a touch of chaos, come to us. But if you want a Rebbe-dominated Judaism, a rigid and hierarchical Judaism, it can best be found elsewhere. And this too, we are young enough to have the courage of our doubts in a world of dangerous certainties. And what we have done before, we will do again. We will touch and awaken that reform gusto that for most of our short history spoke to the hearts of young and old alike and blew like a fresh wind around the Jewish world. Indeed, this work has already begun. Remember, our synagogues at their best are better than they have ever been. We may have a deficit of dollars in this movement, but we do not have a deficit of vigor or of spirit. To do all of this, we need a united movement. We must end the institutional narcissism that has too often plagued us. We must work together as never before. We will also need the leadership and inspiration of the visionaries in our midst. David